Welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your day today. For everybody, I've Zoomed Tom Skerl in, being that he was going to do a little segment in our dealer meeting, and he has a personal issue that has come up and he will not be attending. So I've tracked him down using Zoom technology today to get let him introduce himself a little bit, tell a little bit about himself and his company, and we'll take it and have a nice general conversation.
So Brian, in May of 2005, we got rolling in Cleveland, Ohio. My background is much like many others in the room, that we were in the office equipment industry working for somebody else in an industry that was, frankly, it was very difficult. It was in decline, pressure on margins, competition was at an all-time high. And it just wasn't any fun. So for those of you that were in that environment, you know how refreshing it was to have an opportunity to get into an industry that had limited competition, had gross margins of over 80%, and in a business you can have a ton of fun and grow something and be a part of it and be an owner as opposed to working for the man, if you will. So we started in May of 2005, and a little bit after that in Cleveland, we figured out, hey man, we could do this thing. Your first month of 30, 40 units, you feel like you're bulletproof. And then we started our growth from there on. And I remember my third month P&L statement I got back from this accountant, and it said 40,000 in profit. There was no other motivation I needed than to see the bottom line of that. Cash is king. I always heard that, but I dumped my first communion money in on this thing, and I soon realized that the cash flow was really important to your business. And then I also realized what is really as important to cash flow is the rental prices you're getting on the street, because that dictates the size of the deals you get, the prices, the funding over time, and it really impacts your bottom line. So we made the mistakes like many of you did for a lot of years. You put a motivated buyer and a motivated seller in a room, which is a guy who needs a job and a manager who needs a rep, and they start talking about, water or whatever. Next thing you know, there's a deal, and you start Monday. And you really haven't looked at the real reasons why we're hiring this professional. I know we've all done it. Turnover is expensive. We did an exercise. We had a sales combine meeting on 3.5 weeks ago. All of our managers got together. We did an exercise of the cost of turnover. You get that rep who turns over in that third month. There's nobody in that place for months 4, 5, and 6. And then you start out on the on-ramp again with training and recruiting and all that. Goes months 7, 8, and 9. That's a $60,000 proposition for making the wrong hire. Our business changed. We quit hiring folks who were convenient and all the other factors, and we stayed true to what we call a scope that we hire from. One, they have to have outside sales experience, of some sort, hunting type experience. If you don't have it, we're not hiring you. We're not bringing you through training to find out 4 weeks later that your stomach turns and you're going to throw up because you can't handle making cold calls. It's happened to all of you. So you got to have some hunting experience. Number 2, you have to have the income target. Okay, you will have never made 50,000. Okay, we are looking for folks to make 45, 50, and beyond for the first time. So we're looking for the hunting. We're looking for that income piece. And believe me, that income piece is extremely important. Beyond that, we're looking for folks who are homegrown, and those are folks who have come from the area. We made the mistake in Atlanta hiring all these people from all over the place. As soon as they got into your marketplace, they needed a job. You bring them on board. 2 months later, they're on Monster looking for another job. We won't repeat that again. In addition to that, we're looking for folks who live in the territory that we'll be marketing, right? And of course, beyond that, you've got communication skills they need to have, and they're at the right place in their career, meaning they don't want to be a district manager. They want to be a sales professional. We reduced our turnover by 80%. Out of the 26 sales reps we have right now, 18 of them have been with us for over 1.5 years. And what that means is that your average number of units per rep will increase from 5 to 6 to 7. We got it up to 10.1. There's no reason why any dealer in this room shouldn't be, looking at a target of 10 units per rep. Because when managers can stop recruiting and on-ramping people, they can start focusing on the streets where the action is, and it's getting after deals, multiple unit deals, and strategic deals. So recruiting is a major deal to help our business grow. And I recommend about focus on the business, right? You want to focus on the focus, and that's a territory plan. Your reps going on the street and knowing exactly who they're going to call on, the types of accounts that you want to call on. We call them scope, right? So we set up a criteria for the accounts that we want to sell to, and then we push market to them. And so we have the highest opportunity to convert. We set up a criteria for bottled water, cheap fit filtration, and water fountains. And if they're scoped, we go after them, we push after them, we push our way to them. The beauty of this business is 90% of the time that we ask for an order, they only compare us to what they've got. The market we want to go after is the high-end space with a Lexus branded product. We sell a product that is not available to anybody else in the marketplace. It is the top of the line product that's built up to standards and certifications, not stripped down to a price point. And I've had an opportunity to listen to other dealers call and say they could get a different product for 150 less or 200 less. And frankly, if you look at the long run, that's the decision that you need to make. We've only sold the 3i since our company has started. We've not sold any other product. And I am receiving the benefits of what we call the later. There's two things you look at when you get into this business. There's the now, and then there's the later. And the now is, of course, you got to try and generate positive cash flow, and you want to generate a bottom line and profit now. But what you really don't know is the later component. You can run out a spreadsheet and say, I'm going to get this kind of money down the road in year 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. But when you look at the long term of that PW1R, the 3i today, and if there's a $150 difference or so, how quickly that's made up in years 8, 9, 10, even 10 and 11 for that matter. Just prior to coming in here today, the mail came. I just grabbed it and I walked in here. There's about 350 checks here that are between 60 and 80 bucks a month or times how many units we've got. And I'll tell you that most of those checks that are coming here in this annuity stream are products that we put out in 2006, 7, 8, and 9. That cheaper product with plastic parts and components and such wouldn't keep up. So for those of you that look at the difference up front of that price point, 150, 200 bucks, I know you want to try and make money now. I want to encourage you, let's just ask for more money on the street. Sell for more money on the street. You will be the benefactor of some fantastic later revenue, and the profitability associated with that is, it's all gravy that comes in. The product's a tank, it works through that, and I've had an opportunity to get to know Clearlight. I've had an opportunity to get to know the leadership team at PHSI. I've been to South Korea and the N-Star plant to watch the product being manufactured. I was duly impressed with the plant and Steve and his people, and the level of commitment that goes into the manufacturing of the product. And so today, PHSI is a strong partner. They're financially sound, and they are going to provide us the best product to compete and stay ahead of the game. I know this is a stretch to make this statement, but if bottled water didn't exist, I could do a damn good job of making money in this industry with just upgrading filter and fountain. And that is why I'm going to call it the best opportunity today, is because those products are fair game. Extra wellness programs. You got water in the news, you got the hydration into wellness, you've got fountains flying off, CSF going, of course, you still got bottled water going on. This business is as hot as it's ever been. Sales manager, your sales rep telling you it's 30 bucks in the marketplace. Stay true to your model. Do one thing. Stay focused on the focus. Have fun doing it, because at the end of the day, that's how teams are built, and people having fun and, succeeding, and that's really what it's all about. I couldn't be more delighted to to get after this thing. This is our water season kicking off. I know I'm going to go down with a little bit of surgery here, but when I get back, man, we're going to rock and roll this thing. And I want to encourage all of you guys to go out there and have the best water seasons ever, because it has never been as good as it is now.
Well, thank you, Tom. I appreciate it once again.